So here's the thing with desert exploring. Since we're in a hot, dry epoch, the best time to do desert exploring is in the winter. But you know what happens in the winter is the days are so short. So I am eking out the last few minutes of sunlight to go and see something really amazing. So let's see what I find.
This is the voice of God coming to you live from a casino in the southern tip of Nevada. To read this sign, it says Camp Rock Springs. To the United States soldiers of Camp Rock Spring who guarded the U.S. mail. No glory there nor much chance for military fame, but true patriots and heroes were they, to submit to the privations, yet these are the nurseries of the Army. And from such hard schools we graduated. And it says a Grant and Sherman, Sheridan and Thomas, General James something, Rusling, Bill Hogan, chapter something.
So I'm not going to keep secret what I'm trying to find right now. This is called Camp Rock Spring. It's a spring in the Mojave Preserve, Mojave Desert. And yeah, there are petroglyphs there, and the reason I'm not keeping it secret is because it is on the map. There are tourist kiosks there. It's on the Mojave Road, which is extremely well traveled by tourists. But what's cool about the Mojave Road, actually, you know what? Since we're burning daylight here, we'll walk and talk. So, since the Mojave Road used to be Okay, the Mojave Road used to be a trade route from basically that connected the Pacific coast to the Southwest proper, like the Four Corners area, for over thousands of years. So then it became a military road, and this is one of the places where if you were traveling that road on foot in, ancient times or by vehicle in more modern times, this is where you could get water. And so it's a pretty important place because water in the desert, especially during dry periods, is, life or death. So let's take a look at our first petroglyphs. Let's see. I don't know if that was put there on purpose. I'm guessing it was, because it's a marker. It definitely stands out on the landscape, that rock right there. Anyway, so here we have some petroglyphs. We have this motif that the Paiute call knotted string. It has, of course, a native word. I'm going to not talk so much because I got to hurry up. I'll just show you what I got here. This ladder kind of image. All right, moving on. See what else we got. If there's anything else right around here, I don't think so. So I'm going to keep moving and I'll turn it back on when there is. What's so amazing is that even in deep prehistory, the symbol that you see a lot at springs is this circle with the squiggle line, exactly the same as you see on modern maps, topo maps. If you're looking on a topo map, it looks like a little tadpole, and that's where the springs are. Oh, it's so faint. I don't know if you can even see that one. Petroglyph. It's very faint. I think there's a bunch of stuff I'm missing, but this is something I do. I don't want to waste 1 second of the day. It's like I get out here, I'm exploring. There have been so many times that I'm stuck out in the wilderness after dark. Not even know how to get out of slot canyons and stuff, but I'm not lost. Plus, I brought my charger. So I'm recording this on my cell phone right now, which can also be a flashlight. I don't feel desperate. I can do it. I know there are things I'm missing though by walking around in the dark. Got my eyes peeled for you though.
This is the voice of God. coming to you live from a casino in the very tippy-tip southernmost tip of Nevada, near where this site is, and I am going to read the sign to you now. It says, "For thousands of years, Rock Spring was a crucial link in a chain of springs that allowed early travelers to cross the unforgiving desert. American Indians, then miners, then cowboys, all stopped here to quench their thirst and rest before moving on. The Chemehuevi traveled seasonally from the Colorado River west to the San Bernardino Mountains to hunt and gather. By 1860, miners were doubling back from California in search of new gold strikes. 20 years later, cowboys patrolled these lands as they herded cattle destined for larger markets in the east and west."
I gotta tell you, so far I'm not too ashamed of myself. I've been rock scrambling around in the dark, and I'm getting some pretty cool stuff. I don't know if you can see the one up there. I don't know if I've got my camera angled right, but anyway, so far so good. This one is going to be frustrating because we've got this shrub, this tree in the way. Let's see. So what I'm going to do here is extend this little selfie stick. First of all, epic. We got these tiered cosmos sort of squiggle structures. Credit due to Aaron Wright for defining that form as being that. Crap. I cannot get down there. Let's see what else we can see. There's something there. Something right there. Oh, maybe that's natural. It's surrounded by all kinds of vegetation I cannot reach because of this silly tree. All right. Get some photography though. Okay, I worked up a proper sweat. I don't even know if you can see me. I have no idea what I look like. I took off my hat and coat because I was so hot. I managed to scramble up over the spring, up over the tank, and into this kind of like flatland where somebody could easily stay and be out of the water, you know, even if there's water down in the tank. So that's pretty cool. I'm so tempted to just keep going, but I have an intuition that if I do that, I will have trouble finding my way back. And I don't know, you know, the trail always beckons. But I think the prudent course of action would be to go back down the way I came, scramble down those rocks, go to my car, and leave this place and not stay out here any longer in the dark by myself before I get lost. Okay, so there's some really interesting things about this site that I kind of wanted to point out. I mean, of course, it's a spring, it's a water source, and there's interesting petroglyphs all around it indicating it's a special place. But what I thought was particularly interesting are square petroglyphs. And they're oriented square. They're not oriented as diamond shape, at the diagonal. So it's not necessarily a four directions situation, although it could be, I guess. I didn't put my compass up next to them. Maybe the squares are actually accurately indicating the four directions. But squares are something that don't show up in petroglyphs until the Pueblo period. That's when the square typically indicates like home or house or something, because of the square structures that started to be made at that time. Prior to that, nobody made square structures. Even any kind of shelters are made in the round. It's far more, architecturally sound and easier to make. So I thought that was interesting that there's square petroglyphs here. I wonder what that means. I wonder if it means that they're newer. They come from the Pueblo period, or I was looking at them at the wrong angle. Like, even though they're squares on the rock like this, maybe the eye is meant to see them like this. So they indicate the four directions. In any case, though, they don't really show up in that way. Usually there's something inside. So that's a really interesting feature of this place, that there's square petroglyphs. Worthy of more research. All right, so tell me please in the comments if you've ever found yourself out in the dark, and if you found anything interesting. Also, if you have any questions about this place that I could answer that I didn't really talk about. I didn't say much about this because I was in a hurry. Like that. And if you want to post your own adventures, go over to the Facebook group, Ancient Southwest. Go to the blog, theancientsouthwest.com, to find more content like this, and more writings that aren't just videos and photos. And if you want to support videos like this, please go to the art shop that's at theancientsouthwest.com and purchase something that you like that I made in the native regional style. Okay, that's it. Now I'm starting to get cold again. Thanks for following me on this quick little adventure. I hope you thought it was fun. I did. I still do. I still am going to. May the fire inside you continue to burn brightly.